So CSEA is working in partnership with CTA, SEIU, ASME, firefighters, the California Labor Federation, Central Labor Councils, and unions and community groups to get the temporary taxes extended to avoid additional cuts. I'd like to commend CTA for your state of emergency that called attention to the state budget crisis and your activities at the state capitol during the week of May 9th, which culminated on May 13th with rallies at the capitol and several other locations around the state. CSEA members and staff joined with you at these events, and one of our members, Julie Jackson in Northern California, spoke at the rally at the capitol, and she told the crowd, even as a longtime registered Republican, she recognizes that tax extensions are necessary. We are all working together to persuade Republican legislators to do the right thing. As David mentioned, we need 2 of them in each house of the legislature to reach the required 2/3 to extend the taxes. A group of 9 legislators, 4 in the Senate and 5 in the Assembly, have been identified as potential votes, and I believe they're in your packet. We are doing our variety of ongoing activities to persuade these legislators. We are also carrying out the same activities in the districts of 2 Republican caucus leaders so that they experience what members of their caucus are experiencing as well. Voters are being contacted in these legislative districts through precinct walking and phone banking to ask them to call their legislator to get their legislator to vote on the tax extensions and avoid any additional cuts. Precincts walks are taking place today in Riverside and Moreno Valley, and they will also take place next Saturday, June 11th, in the areas of Stockton, Modesto, and Visalia. In CSEA, we are calling all our members and retirees who live in these selected districts. Like CTA, we have members who live in every part of the state, and about 30% of them are registered Republicans. We decided to call our Republican members first. While any call from a constituent has impact, a Republican voter calling the Republican legislator will carry more weight. Candidly, there was some initial apprehension as you know how it might go. I'm very pleased to report the response from our Republican members has been overwhelmingly better than expected. On average, 84% of our Republican members who have been called have said yes to calling their legislators. They understand that education has been hit by huge cuts these past few years and cannot absorb any more. They have seen firsthand the furloughs and layoffs and the impact it has on our students. They are responding to the call to save education in California. There's also a number of earned media events taking place in selective legislative districts, and in many cases, it is community groups that are at the forefront of these events. This is not just a fight between Republican legislators and those of us in labor. Many community groups and individuals are stepping up to urge support for tax extensions. For example, there were over 20 Wake Up California events on May 23rd that were created by a grassroots movement of parents. In Visalia on June 1st, this past week, would have been the first day of summer school at a community college, but classes have been canceled due to cuts. Students who have been denied the opportunity to attend summer school flooded Connie Conway's district office. Faith-based groups are planning prayer services at districts of the Republican legislators on June 14th at 5 p.m., the day before the constitutional deadline for a budget to be passed. These are just a few examples of the events that are happening almost daily. We are all part of a tremendous effort to move these legislators to do what is needed and what is just for education and for all of California. I look forward to our continued work together, and I'm confident we will prevail. And I want CTA to know, CSEA and CTA, we are one, and we will work together to make our schools better and our students successful.